Thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity to share our teaching during the pandemic story for the Innovation in Teaching Conference 2020. My name is Ann Lindsay. I am with the University of Georgia Marine Extension and Georgia Sea Grant. I serve as a marine educator / informal educator / environmental educator. And I also serve as the director for the Marine Education Center and Aquarium down here on the coast of Georgia. We are located on the north end of Skidaway Island on the UGA Skidaway Marine Science Campus, and we share the campus with Skidaway Institute of Oceanography, Grays Reef National Marine Sanctuary, and researchers from across the university system of Georgia. We are in the business of teaching here at the Marine Education Center and Aquarium. We teach year-round, and our mission is to teach coastal ecology and marine science with an emphasis on helping folks experience the coast and also gain some sort of ownership and feelings of stewardship for the coastal system as well. We primarily teach coastal ecology and marine science, but we're also involved in communicating the research work of our colleagues. Georgia Sea Grant does fund coastal research. And so part of my job as an educator is to communicate some of that current research, communicate coastal issues and emerging issues that surround the impact of humans on the coastal systems. The facility from which I teach has been located again on the north end of Skidaway Island. Was built back in 1970, and programs, education and nature from that center have been ongoing since the early 80s. In fact, this year marks the 50th anniversary of the work of Marine Extension and Georgia Sea Grant across the coast and across the state. We are one of 8 public service and outreach units for the University of Georgia. And as such, my large job is to serve the state and to connect communities and individuals in the state with the resources of the university. So I want to tell you a little bit about what we would do in a normal year, that is a non-pandemic year, because I think that will help you understand a little bit about how we've shifted and how we hope we've been innovative in our approach to teaching during the pandemic. Typically, we teach field science, lab science, we teach on the water, we teach on barrier islands, we have a variety of field experiences and sites that allow students from across the state sort of immerse themselves in coastal systems and to immerse themselves in the natural world. We teach in a hands-on, feed-in manner, which means in person, on site, and in the moment, as we all do as educators. It also means that we have groups that stay in residence with us, and so we have some facilities that allow us to do that. We have a dorm and a cafeteria and nature trails and teaching docks. And I think what makes us different is that we can take kids out onto the waters of the coast. We can get them out to wild barrier islands, and we can provide that sort of immersive experience that helps people love the coast. So we teach year-round. We target primarily pre-K through grade 12 during the school year. And then throughout the year, we're also involved in public programs. We have a series of workshops for adults called the Coastal Stewardship Workshop. We have public aquarium family events where folks can sign up with their family unit and go explore the salt marsh with one of our educators. We have a Youth Ocean Conservation Summit. We run summer camps, and we run teacher workshops. So we teach a little bit to everybody, frankly, to anybody who's interested. And so, as you might imagine, being versed in sort of hands-on feed-in teaching, the present situation of the pandemic has really shifted the way we teach. And in a lot of ways, it threw us for a loop, to be honest with you. In March, when the rest of us in the state were asked to shelter in place, we did that as well. And then as essential staff, maybe a handful of us, 4 or 5 out of the 22 people who work in this unit, kept the building systems running and kept the animals fed. At the aquarium, we house fish and reptiles and invertebrates, and they need to be fed regularly. So while we were trying to figure out how to keep all of those people safe and how to implement the guidance that had come from the governor and from the Board of Regents and from the University of Georgia in an effective way, we also started thinking about the reality of the pandemic. And we realized, and I get a little emotional thinking about it, but we realized that the spring and the upcoming summer of this year, and now well into the end of the year, and even in the coming spring and summer, that our world, our teaching world, was going to be drastically different. So what did we do? Well, the first thing we did was just sort of connect with each other and talk about what we knew already and how we might shift our focus from teaching the way we were used to teaching in a way that would allow us to reach folks during this strange time. And so we started to do our homework as a team. We watched video, we watched virtual programs, we watched remote programs. We spent a lot of our in situ time, our at home time, studying the way the rest of the world approached virtual teaching. And I would say by May and certainly into June, when we had to make the final call on whether or not we would do 10 sessions of summer camp, we knew enough, and we had enough of the people on our staff who were really, frankly, pretty fearless in going out and learning new things, that we were ready to design some public programs using virtual platforms. So we all learned how to Zoom, and we all learned about Microsoft Teams, and we knew a little bit about GoToMeeting, but quickly we learned that Zoom was a platform that we could use, and everybody was, it was easy enough for even the older folks, including myself, to learn and to practice. We learned about Slack, we learned about Pear Deck, we learned how to take quality video from our phones, and these are all useful tools. And will serve us certainly beyond the length of the pandemic for sure. Many of us have college students in our families, and our college students helped us learn about these platforms. So that was a sort of interesting sort of silver lining of all of that. But suffices to say that we, after a couple of months of thinking and planning, we came up with a series of virtual programs to be offered to the public in June and July to take the place of our summer camps. We were all heartbroken that we wouldn't be able to do the summer camps, but we threw ourselves into this new challenge and actually ended up having a great time and learning more about each other, and letting new people on our team take leadership roles and shine in ways that they hadn't been able to do before. So we have a spring and a summer of virtual programs under our belt. And what's next? Well, at some point during the summer, some of our teachers, these are teachers who typically bring their students to our site for 1 to 2 to 3 days, and they stay in residence with us in our dorm, and they eat in the cafeteria, and they, do a series of labs, and field experiences, and boat experiences. So one of those teachers from Northwest Georgia contacted us and said, "What is going on down there?" And we said, "Well, we're in the midst of learning how to provide virtual programs." And she said, "Well, what do you think is going to happen in the fall? Can we bring our students?" And we said, we don't know. Can you bring your students? And she said, we don't know. But what she did tell us is that the experience of bringing her 5th grade students to the coast was so central to what they did in the 5th grade, and so central to them learning science and being a part of the natural world and being a part of the future of Georgia Coast was so important to them that they wanted to find a way to work with us. And so she said, here's what we'd like to do. We'd like to do 2 days of classes, and we want to take all the classes we would normally take if we were coming to see you. Well, we want to do it virtually. Can you do that? And we said, sure, we can do that. We're not sure how we'll do that, but we're going to give it a shot. And so for the last couple of months, a small team of us, first it was a series of 3 of us senior educators who got together, came up with sort of a plan of how we might adapt 15 of our most popular programs, ranging anywhere from a plankton lab to a fish dissection to an aquarium tour to a trawling trip on the RV Sea Dog, which is a research vessel, to an exploration of the salt marsh. How are we going to translate that to a virtual experience and still have aspects of what we love to do, which is teach in the moment, in person, hands-on feeding? So a team of us senior educators got together, 3 of us, and then we invited 3 other educators to come in. And between us all, we're each responsible for developing 3 virtual programs. And these will be 45-minute programs. And teachers will be able to select a single program and log in, or we have arranged a series of 3 programs into what we call pathways. So we have a pathway for invertebrates, we have a pathway for fish, we have a pathway for estuaries, we have a pathway for marine debris. And we plan to offer these programs in the morning and the afternoon in response and in collaboration with classroom teachers beginning in November. And we're nervous, we're excited. We have been challenged, certainly, but we know that the lessons we have learned over the last several months, learned together and learned individually, will help us move forward in the coming years. And we really feel as if our organization, Marine Education Center and Aquarium, and University of Georgia Marine Extension and Georgia Sea Grant is a more nimble organization now in terms of teaching because of the pandemic. And we've identified superstars on our team. And that's always a thrill as a leader of a unit. So I hope that story is helpful. It may not be different from a lot of other people's stories, but we really, really appreciate the opportunity to share it with y'all. We invite you to come to the coast when you can and when it's safe. Hope everybody is well. And if you want to find out more about our work or follow us as we move through the pandemic along with you, you can check us out at gacoast.uga.edu. So signing off from the coast, this is Ann Lindsay saying be well and see you soon.